32. And the next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. Have you gone over the minutes?
I'll make a motion, we accept the minutes of October 1st.
I have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Jessica, do you know if Jean or Alex are coming tonight?
Oh, Alex, he just had a little bit of trouble connecting in with us, so I think he's going to be here in a minute. And then Jean, she said that she had an appointment and she thinks she'll be here around 7.
Oh, that'll be good. Well, I can go on to other things because there's numbers from both of them that I really wanted. Do you want to start your COVID-19 update?
Sure, I will. I was just trying, for some reason my Gmail was giving me a little bit of issue. I was trying to pull up the agenda myself, but I'll start off with COVID-19. So last week I submitted for the CARES Act for the town. We submitted about $370,000 in requests for different items for the town, and that included, oh, Eric is here.
Oh, good.
And so is Alex. So I'm just going to add them real quick. Okay, so like I said, we requested about $125,000 for the school to get laptops and hardware for students and educators. And then the rest of the request went to the different departments. There were some big requests from the police department and the fire department for, you know, for uniforms, for a power load stretcher, and then there was some expenses that went for specifically for the election, which that's the state made some update to the CARES Act. With that, for the second round, they allowed us to request money for specifically for elections, which is something that wasn't initially intended on for the first round. So we're still waiting to hear back from the state on what will be approved, and I'm hopeful that everything will be approved. I don't see why anything would not be approved.
Okay. Now, does that use up the first CARES Act monies, or do we have monies left in there?
So there's still some layover on what's not been expended from round 1, but it's very little. So I still, you know, I'm looking at getting like an air purifier for the police station that'll specifically go on to their HVAC system. So that's something that I still need to expend, but there is no deadline that we need to expend round 1 for. Everything, round 1, round 2, and beyond all needs to be expended by December 30th. So that's really the cutoff for all funds at this time. We never know when they'll change their mind, though.
Right. Does anyone have any questions on the money spent or the CARES Act, the round 1? No? Now, round 2, have we received that now?
No, I'm still waiting to hear from the state on what's going to be approved. And
okay.
So I heard from them today that they were reviewing it. So I don't know how quick that turnaround time. I don't know if it will be tomorrow.
Submitted?
But yeah, no, it was submitted last week.
Okay. And what was submitted on round 2?
So round 2 was, like I mentioned, the police uniforms, the power load stretcher, election-related expenses, and expenses for the library for sanitization and social distancing, so they can reopen their services as well.
Okay.
Are those numbers somewhere? Are they available? I mean, there must be a public record for where
Yep, yeah, absolutely. So I went over that at the last select board meeting, so that's definitely readily available.
Okay, thank you.
Now, is that on the website for the town?
I didn't publish it to the website, but I'd be more than happy to publish it on the website.
Because I was going to request that you maybe send us a copy
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
so that we have it for our records and
Yeah.
notes. Okay, that would be good.
Okay.
Then there was I noticed on the warrant that you put out, or at least the new one changed, I didn't see that one. You would put an article on there for the OPEB
Yep.
money.
Okay.
Is that on this last draft you sent me?
Yep. Yeah. No, that's been on there, and
Because I don't think it's
essentially
on
what
there.
happened. So essentially, what happened with that? So the question from the last meeting was about why it had been left out, because it's something that we traditionally have on the
Yeah.
on the warrant every year. And so, you know, I was going through some of my notes that I was left from Heather, and the reason why it was left out was just because she wanted to focus on the absolute necessities that needed to be passed at the annual town meeting, and OPEB
Okay.
is something that can wait, and you know, we can approve it in a special town meeting. We just wanted to make sure that we had, you know, the appropriate funds.
Because on the first copy, I saw it on, but then the updated copy you sent me,
I think it's
I
Article
don't see
4.
it on there.
Article 4?
Article 3.
3.
Oh, yeah, okay, yep, it is, yep. And how much money was
Article
that?
3 on the one I got.
So that's a discussion that we're going to have between the treasurer and Alex as well, because I think he gets an assessment. Is that correct, Alex?
Yes, it is currently in the process. I just got all the information off to them yesterday, and they evaluate everybody, every employee, long-term, basically all the retirees that are current, and they go through it, and they basically give us an assessment, exactly what you said.
Okay, good, so we'll have that number coming to us. I'm glad you're here with us, Alex.
Yeah.
I wondered if you could update us on the revenues for the first quarter on 2021.
Yeah, they're all with the real estate. I mean, most of them are paying mortgages. So the second quarter just came out. We received all the core logic and all the payments as normal. The same people that paid the first quarter paid the second quarter. So we're really, staying right there. There hasn't been any excise commitments really going out right now. So there's nothing coming in for that. Water and sewer is still consistent. Hopefully we get some more in from there, and we should be doing the water and sewer liens in December, and those go on the third and fourth quarter, which hopefully we'll get the water and sewer bills paid.
So, Alex, would you say 90% are being paid, or 95, or?
I wouldn't say 95. I would say 90. I mean, most of it is paid by real estate and mortgage companies.
Most is kind of a general term. I was just curious what a number would be,
I could certainly get you a number on that of what percentage people pay with core logic. There's basically three main companies that send them in. I can definitely look that up and get those to you. If you'd like.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Alex, do you have the totals for the revenues that have come in for the first quarter this year, comparing it to the quarter from last year?
I did. I think I thought we went over those last time. I do have those, I believe.
Well, July, August, September.
I thought
Yeah.
we had gone over that last meeting. I think I still have the papers here, unless I threw them out. It's just reports that I can run again. It's not records that need to be kept. Just a general report. I believe what was there was $250,000 that was remaining from fiscal year 2020. Still, that has not been uncollected. And I believe we were right on pace as last year. There was not much of a change between real estate.
Okay, between the first quarter last year and the first quarter this year.
Correct. I want to say it was only like a $20,000, $30,000 difference. Which
So
was
that's not really,
which
that's
is only
not too bad.
yeah.
It'll probably tell more the second quarter.
Like I said, I think the money is coming in from the quarters. I don't think real estate's the issue. I think people are keeping up with the real estate taxes. I think excise comes around maybe change a little bit where people who can hold off on that. They feel sometimes they can pay a little later on that. But yeah, there hasn't been that much of a difference with real estate.
Okay.
Some people may tend to be behind on their water bills a little more than their real estate. I think what happens, we'll see with the liens that are coming out, how much get put on the third quarter. And what actually happens when the water bills do get liened, a lot of the mortgage companies will pick up those payments and they'll charge them through their escrow.
Oh, okay.
Which does help us because we will get the money. We'll get half of all the money that is owed on the third quarter and half in the fourth quarter.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Alex? Or any info that they might like to find out he could get us for the next meeting?
No, I do have the numbers from last meeting. If anybody was interested, I wrote them down.
Oh, good.
Okay, so for 2019, it looks like we had 1.92. Does that sound right?
Well, I think the numbers were fiscal year 2020, correct? In fiscal year 2021.
So I've got fiscal year 2020, fiscal year 2019.
Okay.
And then I've got the difference between now to 2019, which was $250,000, which I think you expected to make up this year between the end, or we're going to land close.
Yes, the 250,000 that's outstanding. I mean, that's not always because of COVID or uncollected. I just put the demands on too, right? I believe right during that meeting, and if I rerun those numbers again, then I think you'll see a lot more collections. I can even run the numbers right now before the end of the meeting, depending on. I mean, I can email you. It's pretty easy to get the numbers.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, if you guys want to discuss something else, I think I can log in and pull them up.
Okay, that would be good.
Let me see if I can do it. How quickly and easily I can get that.
Now, my next was Jean, but Jean may be coming in about 7, so I'll hold off on her numbers. And then the next thing is needing to go through the warrant that's put out. You all should have that. Now, Jessica, you want to explain how it was opened and then closed, and there's still more to add on here, isn't there?
No, so the warrant was opened and closed on last Thursday. And so the selectmen made it a short open window to keep the warrant as short as possible. So we ended up with let me pull it up real quick. We ended up with 15 articles. Yep, we have 15 articles, and reminder is that a majority of those articles had to come from the annual town meeting because all of our free cash. So essentially what happened was when we had to postpone our annual town meeting, and now this is just going to sound silly, but when we had to postpone our annual town meeting, Jean let the Department of Revenue know, because when you change into a new fiscal year, your free cash doesn't just automatically roll over. You know, it's supposed to end at June 30th, July 1st, you start a new page. But with everything that's been going on this year, the DOR was a lot more flexible with allowing free cash to roll over into the new year in the event that towns needed to have their annual town meeting in the first couple of days of the year. And so Jean let them know that we were not going to be able to have our annual town meeting. But apparently there was a form that she was supposed to fill out and submit to make it an official notification to the DOR that we needed to have our town meeting in the first of the year. And she didn't know about that form, and she's still having conversations with DOR to see if we can, go back and we don't have to revote all of those articles, because it was just a little mistake. And she still, she has documentation of her communicating with DOR that we had to postpone the annual town meeting. So that's why we have to revote all of the free cash from annual town meeting, which includes the snow and ice, which includes the Wachusett Greenways, the police cruiser request, the ambulance request, the Ruggles parking lot request, the cable access expenditure, and then the new articles that we've had to add is we needed to balance the FY20 budget.
That's not on the copy that I've got.
I sent you a more updated one.
Yeah, and I printed that off tonight, and it's still like the same one I had before.
Oh, interesting. So I have on here, I have article number 3 is balance the FY20 budget, which is the sum of $81,417, which is what we fell short of last year. A large reason on why we fell short last year is because of the demand notices went out very late for vehicle excise tax, and so we weren't able to collect 100% of that in FY20. And so I think that will recoup a lot of that free cash money back for next year.
So you have that as Article 3?
Yep.
I
Because
think it's Article 12, I think. Isn't it?
It got moved around a couple of times. This is only a draft. I mean, this isn't what's gone out, but I wanted to move around the articles, so we had the articles that made sense to go together. So that's why some of yours is probably out of order, but I had to move around a couple of articles.
Yeah,
there.
We're going to go over
The article, the latest.
and it's kind of confusing.
Yeah,
If they're not.
well, like I said,
So I'm working with stuff that you haven't updated.
Well, so as I said, I had sent out a draft earlier this week, and I was just trying to reorganize everything that made sense to go together. And so, we already discussed OPEB being on the warrant, and
We read out the numbers. Well, even though the numbers don't mean anything, could we read off the article numbers where we're going through?
so sure.
Why don't we just start at what have you got for Article 1?
It's FY20 snow removal OT/PT account.
Okay, yeah, that's what we have.
Yep. Article 2 is the FY20 snow removal expense account.
Now, have you got numbers for those that are in there?
It's whatever the numbers were for the annual town meeting. I'm not sure on the top of my head, but it's the same numbers that
Because I wrote them down in case anybody else, I went back and looked them
They're
up.
all the same, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the same as it was.
So that the overtime and part-time is 5,149. Our 2 new members might not have those numbers.
That's in the annual town meeting book?
Yes,
Yeah.
I don't know if you have the dollar figure in there though. It isn't in the book, is it,
That's-
Brian?
No, I don't think so. Not unless you
I don't
wrote it
think so.
down.
Because
Why
I
don't we
went,
put-
I
why don't
wrote
we
them
include
down
those?
during the meeting.
Go through them.
So the OTPT is 5,149. And the Article 2 for snow removal expense is $30,638.63. And then Article 3 I have is the OPEB. Is that what you have?
Yep.
No, Article 4 is what I have.
Well, I've got Article 3 is
Well,
the
check your email. Check your
But
email.
now she's saying Article 3 is the annual town meeting, right?
Budget.
It's Article 3 is balancing the FY20 budget.
When did that
Okay.
get sent? 'Cause I don't think I received that.
I can email it to you real quick.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Sure.
That way we're all on the same page.
All right, so everybody should have it now.
It hasn't come through to me yet.
Mine just came through, so there we go.
Yeah, this week was very crazy, and part of the issue was just trying to get the town council to review and approve all of the language, which
Yeah.
happened at about 4:30 today. So
Jessica, was that email from you?
yes.
I just got it through.
Yeah, it's taken a while. I haven't got it yet either.
So while we're waiting, the levy of 2020, it's down to 148,000 outstanding. So from last time, 250 down to 148.
Well, that's good.
That's quite substantial for less than a month. Good
Yeah.
for them.
The demands.
Oh yeah, that's right.
If you notice with that little extra fee on there, they panic.
Yeah, I feel like the mail system figured out anything that they make pink or orange, everybody opens now. So
So then the OPEB is Article 4.
Yes.
Eric, have you gotten it yet?
No,
Has everyone else gotten it?
Yeah, I got it.
you can keep going. I'll use the old one.
Ed, have you got it? You got the right one?
I can't get it with my internet, Claire.
Oh, okay. So then the number 4 is the OPEB, which they're gonna decide on the amount. And Wachusett Greenways is Article 5.
Yep, and that's a free cash article from annual town meeting.
Yep. Now, I have a question for you. Have they used the money from last year? Because when I got the end of year expenditures, they still hadn't used it.
Okay. I'm not sure if they've used it or not. That's something I can look into.
Yeah, if you could. Because I wondered why they wouldn't have used it.
Right. Yeah, no, that's definitely a good question.
Now so Article 6 should be the police cruiser.
Correct. And that is also from annual town meeting.
Yep. That's to replace the free cash, take it out of free cash and vote second time. And Article 7 is the new ambulance.
Correct. Another free cash item from annual town meeting.
From the annual town meeting.
Jessica, do you have any idea if that actually been ordered yet, or was it able
Yep.
to be ordered? Yeah. It's all
Yep.
up.
Yeah. So that and as far as I know, the police cruiser's also been ordered.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Great.
but I don't think we're gonna see the new ambulance. I think Chief Rogalski said somewhere around next May. So the production line is really, really backed up.
So then the next one would be Article 8, which is the Ruggles Lane parking lot.
Correct.
And then now Article 9 and Article 10, those have been added on, right?
Nope. So Article
No,
9.
you've changed those. Okay. I see what you did. You grouped all the free cash from the previous
Yes.
together.
Yeah. And I tried to put, like the balancing the budget at the top as well, because that's a very important one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. So
Okay.
Article 9 is something from last town meeting, the annual town meeting.
Which would be
The $100,000 that everyone voted to have.
for the capital. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's going to be 9. Okay. For the internet.
Right.
Now that's all of the ones from
That's
the
everything.
previous town meeting, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now it would be Article 10 would be the fire administration vehicle.
Yeah, so that's a new one. Article 10 and Article 11 were both submitted by Chief Rogalski for new vehicles for the fire department. However, we only have $36,000 left over in free cash after voting for everything that's above.
Yeah. So that doesn't look like we'll be able to do that.
Unfortunately, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And I think things would have been different if we were balanced at the end of FY20.
Right. If we
COVID,
had-
COVID happened.
Yeah. So that Article 10 and 11 probably will be tabled, or the selectmen can remove them.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions on anything so far?
Would they be the OPEB for the part of that $36,000 left over?
So it's my understanding that, and this is a conversation that I had with Alex, is that it would be best to take OPEB out of stabilization just because they're both investment accounts. So it would just make sense to have it come out of stabilization.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because in the event, we want to keep as much free cash available as possible, even though we don't have a lot left. So
Yeah, because it rolls over.
right. So in a normal year, OPEB typically comes out of free cash, but in the abnormal year that we are in now and will be in next year, it'll be the best decision for us to keep as much free cash available to the
Yeah.
town as possible.
So
Would that
Article-
be the only thing, stabilization this year?
Correct.
Hey, Jessica, sorry, I still didn't get that email, but, so Article 3 on the copy I'm looking at was the OPEB, and that's been moved to what, to where?
To number 4.
Oh, that's Article 4 still?
Yep.
Article 3, Eric, is balancing the town budget. What we were short.
Okay,
And then they've just kind of moved, each number is moved down. 5 is greenways now.
okay. Jessica, check if my name was on that email.
Yeah, absolutely. I just responded to the email where I sent everyone the Zoom link. So let me just check again. Yeah, you are attached on that email, but I can send it to you separately.
Yeah, for some reason it's not. That has no attachments.
All right, I just sent you another.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, the subject line is STM warrant.
Now, Article 12 is the accepting the land donation.
Correct.
That's the land adjacent to Felton Field.
Correct.
Does anybody have any questions on that has missed some of our meetings that we've talked about it?
Yeah, Claire, who's giving it to us?
Jessica, you wanna, it's the Brown family?
Yes. Yep. So they've owned the land for a long period of time, and it's they wanted to donate it to the town because they felt that it would be a good addition. It's a waterfront property, so it would extend Felton Field all the way to the water. So I think that will open up the opportunities for the town to use that area.
And they investigated into it historically and everything to make sure that there was nothing.
Yeah, there's no brownfields, there's no contamination, there's no issues that would make it not advantageous for us to accept the donation.
Now, Jessica, I have a question on the Article 13 and Article 14.
Sure.
On the vapor barrier at the senior center.
Okay.
And I looked it up, and on the expenditures and then it lists articles and monies left in them. Because I went back to the FY17, which it's there, but it has been carried on the books, the 25,000, right to this past year.
Yep.
I haven't gotten a new expenditure report. I was going to ask Jean if she could send me one.
Okay.
For this year. Now, my understanding has been if an article is on the ledger there, that money can be used anytime. It doesn't have to be revoted like that looks what they're trying to do here. They're taking it off, rescinding the vote, and then replacing it, but it's the same thing. And they don't have to do that. It's an article, and an article stays there forever until we vote from the town to take it off. That was my understanding of it.
Right, so that's what this would be doing, is rescinding that.
You don't have to rescind it. The money is there.
Right, but it's there.
Yeah.
It's there for a specific purpose.
And that's what they're doing.
I think they're gonna spend the money on the roof instead of the barrier.
Right.
It's not the same.
Oh, they're changing.
No, they're changing. Yeah, so those $25,000 were originally supposed to go to an energy efficiency project for the barriers you have indicated, but from the time that was voted until now, there was a grant that Andrew had applied for and received to take care of what this article was supposed to fund.
The vapor barrier?
Yeah.
So that has already been done.
Correct. So that money is no longer needed for that project, but they do need a new roof. So that's what they are.
I see that, but I didn't know that there was a grant that came in for that and that they had done that. I've asked about it several times and got no answers.
I believe that.
Did you know that they had gotten a grant and the vapor barrier was done?
I knew they applied for it. I didn't know that actually they got it now.
I thought they still needed to do it, and I was saying, why would they be?
We've had so many transitions, though, that I'm not surprised we didn't hear about it.
Yeah.
So the energy efficiency project was to put a vapor barrier in at the
That's
senior center?
one of the things. It was quite a few different things that were done, I believe.
Right.
Maybe we should have the senior, what, is it Linda? I can't remember what her first name is.
Eileen?
Eileen, that's it. Come in and talk to us, like at our next meeting, and explain what's been done so we can get caught up on it and know that that's what this is.
So this 25,000 was what was budgeted originally for the energy efficiency project?
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's 25,000 for a new roof.
So they just want to use that money that was there for the vapor barrier project, for a new roof. Because they got money for the vapor barrier from a grant. Is that right? No? That explains what this is. That is then. Yeah. My warrant ends on the one I have printed. So. So then Article 15 will be to authorize the senior transportation change from WRTA to MARTA. Any questions on that? Do you know, Jessica, why they're changing?
She might be frozen.
Yeah,
I think it was something to do with being more cooperative and having better scheduling and so forth. That's what I remember from a year ago when we were talking about it.
okay. I know they had talked about it, but I didn't remember what they were, why they were doing that.
Hey, Claire.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was late. I'm sorry for.
that's
but
okay.
I might have missed these, going over these minutes.
Yeah,
And there was a line in there that said 81,417 was the shortfall.
yeah,
And then she said she did calculations and there was 117,987 left in free cash. So I thought I heard you guys talking about a new number for what's in free cash after you spend this 81,417.
yeah,
I might have missed something, but
it's just,
Yeah, sorry, I just cut out a bit for my internet was not working. So, but I heard that question. I was freaking out for a second, but I'm back.
I wondered
oh,
what
man.
happened to you. But
Yeah, internet happened to me. So, based off of my conversations with Jean, after this $81,000 is spent, we will have $36,000 left in free cash.
okay, and that's not including these fire trucks and
No,
bus vehicles,
we don't have enough money for it.
no,
but it includes everything else on these warrants.
correct.
Okay.
So if we can hang on to that 36.
Is there a specific
we-
amount that we try to keep in free cash year over year, or like a minimum that we try to keep in there?
Jessica, you want to explain how the free cash works? I wish Jean was here because she.
Jean would have had a really good explanation for this, but essentially free cash is money that the town is able to spend freely at the town's will for different items that include capital improvement projects like a $45,000 police cruiser or a $300,000 ambulance. So every year every town ideally wants to have as much free cash as possible left over, because the more free cash that you have left over, the more that you can build into stabilization, which is the basically the town's like rainy day fund, or more free cash that you can have for bigger projects like eventually building a building or something like that. So it's really free cash is that money at the end that we have available to us to make bigger.
Yeah, no, I get that. I wasn't sure if there was a benchmark that we try to keep as a minimum level for that, or if you could flatten it out. No.
Yeah, so I would have to look over and see what the traditional amount is for this town to keep in free cash every year, but I would say probably 30 to 40,000 is what I'm used to in having free cash left over.
Claire, wouldn't we put that in the reserve fund category as far as having a minimum amount? I mean, if we had money left over, I mean, we'd have a reserve account, right? Versus
Or we usually put it into stabilization.
yeah, one or the other. But I mean, we don't focus.
We don't carry it over.
We don't focus on free cash.
We don't usually carry it over.
I thought you can't carry it over. If you don't spend it by a certain date, it goes bye-bye.
But it gets rolled over into the following year.
Right.
Right, but it doesn't show up again till the next year.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so it's a high to seek amount of money. If you put it in stabilization, then you can look at it. But if you don't, it's like, you know, here today, gone tomorrow. It's still there, but you can't.
Right.
That's
Alex,
what
do you
happens
have
when
any
stuff
views on
is.
With
that? Alex,
with the
do
free
you have
cash?
any views? Yeah.
No, that would be definitely Jean's area of expertise.
Yeah.
Jessica, I mean, I can tell you where everything is with stabilization. I can tell you, you know, what those count, but that would be their expertise.
Yeah. I thought maybe you might have come in contact with something.
Not.
Now, Jessica, do you expect anything else to be added to this?
Oh,
Sorry, I'm muted. Nothing else can be added to the warrant.
No, this is it. This is what it's going to be.
As long as, well, yeah, no, I've already had Jim Baird look at it, our legal counsel, and he has said everything looks good. So
Now, when are you going to post it?
the select board votes on it on Monday.
Okay. So we really can't vote on it until after that, right?
Right.
And when when have you got to post it? Because it's got to be approved by us before you can post it, right?
No, that's not my understanding. I mean, this is my first time going through a town meeting, but I thought that the select board had to approve the warrant for it to be posted.
yeah,
Do
I
you
think,
know, Brian? Do you
I think
remember?
they can post. I think they can post it, but I mean, our recommendations are, you know, we can hold the recommendations.
Right.
Yeah.
Like before the annual town meeting, the finance committee made recommendations right before the annual town meeting happened. So you guys can make recommendations up until then.
Right.
Okay, long as we make them before we print the booklet
Right.
Right.
for the special town meeting. Okay.
No, did I hear earlier that Gene is still trying to get the DOR to give us a little leeway and not revote these articles?
Correct. So I don't know when we're going to get a decision on that, but she's making an earnest effort in doing that.
And if we do have to vote on, should we put next to these that previously voted by town meeting, repeat vote, or
Yeah, we should.
just
Yeah,
pretend
no.
it's all new?
No. That there will definitely be in the book like an indication that this is why we have to revote on all of these things.
Yeah.
Okay,
That'll
that's
be
good.
made clear. Yeah, no, for sure.
Jessica, now did Joshua or anybody look into putting them in a one article, grouping them? I forgot what he calls it.
A consent agenda?
Yeah,
I haven't had a discussion with Joshua about having another consent agenda, but I think that would make sense to do again.
yeah, to do all these free cash, and then you can explain what they are. He could explain that they're from the previous meeting.
Yep. But hopefully we can just table them because, hopefully DOR will be nice to us.
Nice. Unusual.
Okay. So I've put down as a meeting November 12th, which we will, at that meeting, vote on the warrant. That's mainly what that meeting will be for. And to finalize anything for the special town meeting. Has there been anything decided where it's going to be, Jessica?
Yep. So at the select board meeting last Monday, they decided on having it at the Quabbin Regional High School gym. Inside, there will be plenty of space to have everybody socially distanced. And so it will be there at 10 a.m. on November 21st, which is a Saturday.
Okay, so it's changed from November 17th.
Correct. The reason why the select board changed it is because they wanted to give us a little bit of a buffer time. November 17th would have been cutting it very close.
Yeah, so it's Saturday, November, what was the date again?
21st.
Yeah, that's the Saturday before Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, correct.
And does Joshua think we'll have a quorum?
Well, we picked that date and time because we thought that would be the best opportunity given that time of year for us to get a quorum. We think that if we held it any later, despite there being a lot of travel, suggested that people don't travel during this time of year. Any later, we think that there would be too much travel going on, or just in general, people trying to shop and get ready for Thanksgiving. And any earlier would have put a lot of pressure on us to make sure that we got it done in time and everything could be posted properly. So that was the best compromise that we could come to, that we think we will get 50 people.
Yeah. Anyone have any comments or anything on where and when the special town meeting's going to be held?
No, indoors sounds fine with me.
It'll be a lot warmer. It'll be a lot warmer that way.
Outside.
Our next meeting is the 12th, Claire?
Yeah, November 12th at 6:30.
Okay.
And then I have December 3rd at 6:30 because we've got to get those letters out. That was one thing I wanted to talk about tonight. I found my old letter, but I didn't have a chance to really go over it. But I should be able to for the November 12th, so we can kind of look and see what we want to send out to the departments this year. For the new people on the board, we send out letters to each department and asking them to prepare their budget and have them back in at a certain date. Now, last year, I didn't get a chance to look up the date. I don't know if you know, Jessica, you've probably been so busy you didn't have a chance to see when those first letters go out.
No, I know it is at the very, or at least for me, I know that I have a notification set in my calendar to send out that first push in the beginning of November. So, but I don't know about when the finance committee started getting involved.
Well, the finance committee has to approve the letter that you send out.
Oh, okay. So
it comes before us first.
Okay.
So maybe we can look at that on November 12th, if you can.
I can have that ready for you guys. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that we can look at it. I don't know how, I didn't get the one that Heather did. I don't think this one is. But that way, there was one that was sent out that was really a lot of detail. And I don't know about anybody else, but I don't think we need to send all that detail out every year.
Well, I think
how does everybody else feel? How do you feel?
I feel like with new staff members, we might want to make sure that we send out a detailed letter. Mainly Alex and myself. And myself.
Well, the one that, was it Heather that sent? No.
No, it was
Andrew.
It was Andrew, yeah.
And it was very detailed, a lot of.
Well, it was.
What, like 15 pages?
Like I said before, information is very valuable if you get a chance to look at it. And
yeah.
Actually get it back. I mean, I don't know how many of those actually filled out.
Yeah,
form.
so.
You know, you gotta have some detail, yeah.
Yeah, but I thought maybe we could cut it down a few pages, you know.
I'm sure Jessica will do a great job of cutting it down.
So if we plan on looking at that on the 12th and voting on the warrant, we should be all set. And then when we have our December 3rd meeting, my suggestion was that each member of the finance committee take so many heads of, to so many departments and try to maybe go to one of their meetings or a couple of their meetings and see what they're actually doing, so that when their budgets come in, we kind of know more about them than just having them come into the meeting. And especially with two members on board, they can meet the different department people.
When do budgets traditionally start getting discussed at meetings? Is
In January,
right in January?
because
Okay.
we usually get them out like November and say, by the first week of January, we'd like to see your budgets.
Okay.
So January, February, and March are the months that we reviewing budgets.
Great.
Okay, does anybody have anything else? Tell Jean we missed her.
I will. I know she said that she was unsure. She said that she thought she might be able to make it by 7, but she was unsure if she was going to be able to.
Yeah.
So,
But tell her the next meeting's November 12th, then we definitely would like to see her again.
yeah, definitely.
So we can talk over, ask things. Okay? Well, if that's it, does someone want to make a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Okay. The meeting is adjourned.
We can vote.
Thank you
Well,
all.
you